Hey everyone! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss an exciting video like this one. Today, we are talking about something that might seem trivial at first, a simple penny, but not just any penny. We are diving into the 1982 1-cent coin, and trust me, you'll be amazed at how much it's worth. Let's get started. So let's begin by talking about the basics of this coin. In 1982, the US Mint made a monumental change to the composition of the 1-cent coin. Up until then, pennies had been made primarily of copper. But in 1982, the US government switched to a new alloy, copper-plated zinc. Now, to the untrained eye, these two pennies might look nearly identical. But the truth is, they're quite different in terms of composition and, more importantly, their value. The copper penny, which was minted before the switch, weighs 3.11 grams, and is made from 95% copper. The new zinc penny, however, weighs just 2.5 grams and is composed of 97.5% zinc, with only a thin copper coating on the outside. Now, here's where things get really interesting. While the face value of a penny is just 1 cent, the worth of these pennies has skyrocketed in recent years, particularly for those minted with a copper composition. The 1982 copper penny, due to its high copper content, has a value far beyond its face value. As of recent years, the copper in a single 1982 penny could be worth around 2 to 3 cents based on the market price of copper. And that's before we even talk about rare or exceptional examples of the coin. The key here is that some 1982 pennies are rarer than others, particularly certain ones that were minted in specific locations, or ones that feature a rare die variety. One important thing to note is that not all 1982 pennies are worth more than their face value. It's important to look for certain markers that make these coins special. The two main versions to focus on are the copper and zinc variants. Remember, these two were minted in the same year, but with different materials. And you want to keep an eye out for the more unusual ones. Now, let's get to the good stuff. Which 1982 pennies are worth the big bucks? Well, there are several rare types that could make you a small fortune. One of the most sought-after varieties is the 1982 copper penny with the D mint mark, the one that was struck at the Denver Mint. There's a famous story about a single 1982 copper penny from Denver that was found in mint condition and sold for over $100,000 at auction. But that's not all. There are also rarer errors that increase the value. One of these errors is the famous 1982 double die reverse penny, which has a noticeable doubling on the reverse side of the coin, particularly on the E pluribus unum motto. Coins like this can go for anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000, depending on the condition. So, if you have one of these in your collection, or even find one in your pocket change, you might want to get it appraised right away. Now, you might be wondering, wait, did I hear that right? Is there really a 1982 penny worth $444 million? Well, let me clarify. It's a bit of a legend. While the number $444 million might sound outrageous, it stems from a rare misprint. A penny was once auctioned off at an astronomical price. Some reports suggest that it was the result of a unique mistake, a coin that went through the minting process with certain rare errors, making it an extreme collector's item. But no, the actual value isn't anywhere near that number in reality. However, rare pennies, especially with odd defects or misprints, can go for impressive sums. The important takeaway is this: while it might be a bit of an exaggeration, the 1982 penny, particularly the copper ones, is one of the most collectible coins in American history. So, how can you spot a rare 1982 penny? Well, here are a few tips for looking through your spare change. First, check the mint mark. If you find a D or S mint mark on the 1982 copper pennies, they could be worth more than you think. Second, closely inspect the coin for any double die errors. If you see any doubling on the words or the numbers, hold on to it. And lastly, take note of the condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. A penny in mint state can fetch a much higher price than a worn-out one. So, if you find a shiny 1982 penny in your change, it might just be worth holding onto for a while. So, there you have it. The 1982 1-cent coin, though small and often overlooked, has a fascinating history and could be worth big money if you know what to look for. Whether it's a rare copper version, a misprint, or a double die error, you could be holding onto something worth thousands, or even more. Make sure to check your coins, and who knows, you could strike it rich with a single penny. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. And as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, happy hunting and happy collecting. Next 1989 1-cent USA coin today. We are talking about the 1989 1-cent coin, something you might find in your pocket, but little do you know, this penny could hold some serious value. Let's dive into why that's the case and what makes this penny so special. First, let's set the stage by looking at the basics. In 1989, the United States Mint was still producing the iconic 1-cent coin we are all familiar with, also known as the penny. This coin was struck with the classic design featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Now, unlike some other coins in US history, the design of the penny has remained relatively unchanged for a long time. However, what's more interesting here is the composition of the penny itself. By the time 1989 rolled around, the penny was primarily made of copper-plated zinc. This was the result of a shift in 1982, when the US Mint began using zinc as the primary material, with only a thin layer of copper covering it. The 1989 penny, like its predecessors, weighs 2.5 grams and is made of 97.5% zinc, with just 2.5% copper. The change in materials was largely driven by rising copper prices. But little did they know that this small shift in production would play a big role in the coin's future collectability. Now, let's talk about the value. If you were to walk into a store and use a 1989 penny today, it would be worth just 1 cent, as expected. However, this seemingly insignificant coin could actually be worth much more, if you have the right one. So why is a 1989 penny worth more than just its face value? Well, the answer lies in its rarity, specific varieties, and even errors. And when it comes to errors, that's where the big money comes into play. For most 1989 pennies, the value is no more than a few cents, maybe 2 to 3 cents based on the price of zinc. But there are certain rare coins from 1989 that could potentially bring in thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and any unique characteristics they may have. Here's where things get really interesting. One of the reasons some 1989 pennies are worth so much more than face value is because of errors in the minting process. Error coins can be a collector's dream, as they're often much rarer than regular, mass-produced coins. The most valuable 1989 pennies are those with notable minting errors. For example, a double strike error happens when the penny is struck more than once by the die, leading to a blurry or offset image. A 1989 penny with a double strike error can fetch anywhere between $200 to $500, depending on its condition. Another error to watch out for is the off-center strike. These coins are minted in a way that causes the design to be misaligned, leaving part of the coin blank. An off-center 1989 penny could be worth hundreds, and if it's significantly off-center, the price could climb even higher. Some other errors, like the repunched mint mark, can also add to the value of the coin. A 1989 penny with a D mint mark that's been repunched can sell for a premium, with prices ranging from $50 to $1,000 depending on the severity of the error. Now, you might be wondering, is there really a 1989 penny worth $420 million? Well, here's where things get a little more complicated. The idea of a 1989 penny being worth such an astronomical amount is more myth than reality. To be clear, there isn't any single 1989 penny currently worth $420 million, at least not in a literal sense. The number $420 million seems to be tied to a sensationalized story in the world of coin collectors. In fact, a rare coin, a 1989 penny with extremely specific characteristics, could theoretically have a sky-high price if it's sold to the right buyer under the right circumstances, but that's highly unlikely. But the $420 million figure does highlight something important: the power of rare, error-laden coins to command prices in the millions if they're unique enough. The penny might not be worth millions today, but the lesson is clear: rare and unique coins can sometimes fetch truly outrageous sums. In reality, the vast majority of 1989 pennies are worth just a few cents. But don't let that discourage you. Even if it's not $420 million, finding a rare error penny could still bring in thousands, depending on its condition and the rarity of the minting floor. So, how can you spot a 1989 penny that might be worth more than its face value? Here are a few tips. First, check the mint mark. If you see a D mint mark on your 1989 penny, it's worth checking for errors like double strikes or repunched mint marks. Similarly, keep an eye out for any unusual misalignments in the design, such as an off-center strike or other obvious mistakes from the minting process. Next, check the condition of the coin. Coins in excellent, uncirculated condition tend to be worth more, even if they're not errors. Look for clean edges, sharp details, and know wear on the coin. A penny in mint state could easily be worth a couple of dollars more than its face value. Finally, consult with a coin expert or have the coin professionally graded. A certified coin might be worth more because collectors place a premium on verified authenticity and condition. So, there you have it. While the 1989 1-cent coin might not be worth $420 million, at least not yet, it can still be quite valuable depending on its condition, rarity, and any errors it may have. And if you're lucky enough to find a rare, error-filled 1989 penny, you could be holding onto a small treasure. Remember, it's not just about the face value, it's about the unique qualities that make a coin special. So, next time you're digging through your spare change, take a second to examine those pennies. You might just find a hidden gem. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin-related content. And leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or other valuable coin in your collection. We'd love to hear about it. Until next time, happy coin hunt! Last 2016 1-cent USA coin today. We are talking about a coin you've probably never thought much of, the 2016 penny. But, hold up, this penny isn't just your average change. We're going to explore why this penny could be sitting on a small fortune. Let's dive right in. Before we get into the big money, let's start with the basics of the 2016 1-cent coin. The 2016 penny features the same design that's been in circulation since 1909, Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Now, the design on the 2016 penny isn't anything new. This is the same penny you'll find every day in your pocket, purse, or change jar. But what makes this particular year unique is the way it fits into the larger picture of US minting history. The 2016 penny was minted in large quantities, like most years. It was primarily made of copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams, with 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. And as you might know, the penny's composition changed in 1982 when the mint moved away from pure copper, in response to rising copper prices. So, why would a 2016 penny be worth anything more than face value? The answer lies in the world of rare errors and unique circumstances surrounding certain coins. You see, while the 2016 penny itself isn't rare, the key to its high value comes from a few rare and special factors, including minting errors, rare varieties, and even historical significance tied to the year 2016. The possibilities for value are much higher than you might think. To put things into perspective, error coins, whether it's a doubled die, a misprint, or a die crack, are highly sought after by collectors. Some of these errors happen when the coins are struck improperly, which can result in a variety of collectible flaws that drive up the price. And some of these 2016 pennies could be holding on to a potential treasure. Wait, did you say $375 million? Yes, that's right. But before you get too excited, let's break down the myth and the truth behind this astronomical number. There's a myth circulating in the world of coin collecting that suggests a 2016 penny could be worth as much as $375 million. But before you start running to your piggy bank, let's be clear, that number is highly exaggerated. In reality, no penny, let alone a 2016 penny, has ever sold for that much. That said, it's not entirely far-fetched. The $375 million value is likely tied to an extraordinary and rare coin auction story, where a coin with a truly unique feature could, under very specific circumstances, be sold for an extreme price. So, while there's no record of a 2016 penny fetching such a sum, the point is that certain error coins or exceptionally rare finds can sometimes command unbelievable prices. But don't worry, just because there isn't a $375 million penny out there, doesn't mean your 2016 penny won't be worth a lot of money. Let's look at some of the rarer 2016 pennies that could fetch thousands. The value of a 2016 penny hinges largely on minting errors. Over the years, error coins have become some of the most valuable in the world, and 2016 is no exception. If you happen to find a 2016 penny that has some of these rare mistakes, you might just have a fortune in your hands. One of the most sought-after types of errors is the doubled die error. This happens when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned or has been used too many times, causing the design to appear doubled on the coin. If you come across a 2016 penny with a doubled die error, especially on Abraham Lincoln's portrait or the date, it could be worth anywhere from $100 to $1,000, depending on the severity of the doubling. Another error to watch for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is struck improperly and part of the design is cut off. A 2016 penny with a significant off-center strike can be worth hundreds of dollars, sometimes even more. In addition to the doubled die and off-center errors, you'll also want to check for any clash dies, which occur when two dies, used for striking the design, make contact with each other and leave an impression on the coin. A 2016 penny with a clash die could easily be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its rarity and condition. So, how do you spot a valuable 2016 penny? Well, here are some tips to help you tell the difference between a standard penny and one that could make you rich. First, check the mint mark. 2016 pennies were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, D mint mark. Pay attention to any unusual features like a doubled mint mark, which could indicate an error. Next, look at the details of the design. If there's any noticeable doubling, especially on Lincoln's portrait or the 2016 date, that could be a sign of a doubled die. Another thing to check is the alignment. If the penny appears to be struck off-center, with part of the design missing, it could be worth a lot more than a regular penny. And don't forget to examine the edges. If the penny has a raised edge or unusual marks, that could signal an error as well. Lastly, consider the condition of the coin. Coins in mint condition, with little or no wear, are worth more to collectors. If your 2016 penny looks pristine, it could be worth a lot more than its face value, even if there's no error. So, while a 2016 penny might not be worth $375 million, the truth is that rare coins with minting errors could still fetch substantial sums. And, if you happen to find one of these rare pennies, it might be worth a small fortune. Whether it's a doubled die, off-center strike, or some other error, your 2016 penny could be the next big find in the world of coin collecting. If you've enjoyed this video and learned something new about the 2016 penny, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting coin stories and tips. And leave us a comment below. Have you ever found a rare penny, or do you have any thoughts on the $375 million myth? Let's talk! Until next time, keep hunting for those hidden treasures, and who knows, you might just be sitting on a small fortune.